I've waited for so long to tell you a story of my girl. My woman, my everything, is virtually everything I could ever ask for. But it becomes just too complicated to conjure up words to describe what goes on inside. Cause my spirit don't speak no English. Nah, this ain't no gibberish. But I thank God for you, cause they say a day in the eyes of the Most High is as 1,000 years. So that's gonna be why we appear like forever. But however long forever was and is, girl, I just need you to know that there are no boundaries here, no limits to love, no confines to bind our feelings, no ceilings to prevent our ascension, cause even in death we exist, and someday our bare bones will make love in the dirt without knowing our nakedness. Baby, come.
The thunder was heard gnashing his teeth in agony, disappointment near the rivers that pillow our sorrows. One once told, peace, be still. The great Irokotri Papa once dropped drops of Ogogoro Abo on was seen lying lifeless on the soil of the land near Niago. Its green leaves of fertility shrank. The bravery of Africa shook. Obiago Ana. Nevertheless, I see a twinkling light at the end of the tunnel. The land is green here, even greener than the pastures of your dreams. Stop wandering in search. Come home, stay home. Let's create the Nigeria of our own. No more drinking from the cups of tattered dreams. No more nibbling over the food made for the falling clouds. No more sniper to put to an end the perceived depression, for we are meant to create a valid impression. We are blacks don't crack open. We have something to offer, we crack open. There is no way we make the way we crack open. We are Nigerians.
They say there is light at the end of every tunnel, but how do you explain this to the blind? Because we are most times blinded and kept in the cages of our mind. I know sometimes life's problem can always stand tall like a mountain, and I wonder if we would ever rest. But then I remember that I am gifted with something special, the gift of salvation. Since life is like a pot of beans, then the bread of life always comes in handy. Because as Jesus is, so am I. My fragrance is like his. I am God sent to reconcile men to God, like the one who made us marvel when he walked on the sea. The Omega and Alpha who makes our lives better. The statistics of my life will always show that there's a thing called grace. This grace that makes me stand before kings and not mean men. Call this the Holy Ghost mode. I realized early that 10% can't keep you and God tight. There has to be a partnership, a diligent walk of faith, so when the going gets tough, remember that even an unpleasant road can always lead to a beautiful destination.
I grew up watching Harry Potter, astounded as he would swing his wand and utter spells to remold his reality. He was literally a potter, so as I grew up watching Harry Potter, I would always wonder what my wand was. I foolishly thought that I needed an inanimate object to animate God's masterpiece, me. I failed to see that magic was a trick to make miracle feel ordinary, that spells were gibberish to replace greatness in my dictionary, and the wand was just a stick and its trick was dependent on the holder, and my pen was just a pen. But the creator taught me to ink heaven on the pages of history, and Harry Potter was a potter of illusions, and author Matthew is an author of profusions. I'm God sent, hell bent on making you heaven bound, doing things even Clark Kent. I'm an enigmatic avenger, and stringing words together is what I'm fantastic for. Is a fusion of fact and fictions, figures and illusions. I am miracle, and magic wouldn't define me. I'm gifted. Deal with it.
Just like Jack and Rose fell in love in their early 20s. Many years ago, I fell in love with beautiful paintings. Dad was a doctor and never believed in my dreams, cause he could never understand how paints and colors had become the air I breathe. And so like a syringe into the veins, I drew life from every single piece I drew. But then came the accident that shattered the wrist of my dad, causing him depression and to feel the pressure of losing everything he had. I knew there could still be other ways to save lives, but my dad slowly gave up on his dreams until one day my dad was gone. And so with a heart so heavy and confused, I was one step away from giving up on painting. But then it hit me. What's the difference between choosing to literally stop the oxygen you are breathing and choosing to give up on your dreams, the real life you breathe in? Cause I realized that my dad actually stopped living before the actual hanging. The same way we have lots of people who have stopped dreaming. They are living, but they are walking dead. And so here I stand, still painting, still dreaming, still living, knowing that my dad will be proud of the man I've become. And so I did him a painting, cause the day we decide to give up on that which gives gives us life, that's the day we commit suicide.
Day to day, our eyes eventually become born again. As bodies are being buried in pools of blood, killings are now the new normal. They are no longer breaking news. Insecurity is what makes the headline news. Scroll through pictures on your timeline. Timeline news, you would see there's no longer respect for human lives. So tell me, what's the need of a community if we can't have common unity? Our politicians campaign in different states of the nation when they never truly care about the state of this nation. They pass the street with handcuffs to their ears that they can't hear the justice that is crying. They do I don't care with our health care. They deprive us of our quality education so that we can keep looking up to them for our salvation. But I'm sorry to say that most of our leaders are trash and we keep recycling them every 4 years, hoping that one day we would get into the best hand that will take us to the promised land. But sadly, the Egyptians we saw years back, we still see them today.